We are back. BEASTcamp podcast, episode 2, season 3. There's Rev.
Yo, what's up, everybody? My name is Rev the Servant, aka Ghost Beast, aka your mother's best friend. And
Yeah.
I mean, that first episode was crazy.
Yeah, we had Spartan on, and Solo. Spartan and Solo.
And you had 4 sentences.
Yes, which was like my dream. Just be there. I don't want to talk. I feel like y'all tired of me talking with the website and all of that. So it's good to hear other people's opinion, basically. So, but yeah, so we're trying to do this way more consistently, and not just for like highlighting us, but just highlighting as much as we can, not just in Krump. So yeah, we'll do it as like a weekly. That's our goal. But yeah, because I could do podcasts too. I used to do it in my room under a blanket, like my iPhone headphones, and to make it as clear as I can when I used to just upload it on a Anchor. So I'm gonna really try to push for the consistency. But yeah, I do like the weekly updates because there's so much happening in Krump, and just in general, like with the camp, just for y'all to keep up with us. So, and maybe the pressure of like such a long episode isn't there. If it turns out that way, great. But if not, y'all gonna hear from us every week anyway. So
Speaking, he like breathed, and then I felt his rib pop. I was like, that's why I was like, the hell?
if y'all listening to this on like Spotify, yeah, he's like holding his dog.
There's a dog here.
It's not a human.
That's the human's rib pop.
Why is his hand on a human rib? Oh man.
So speaking of long, your flight,
India. From India. Oh my gosh. So
how was India?
India was amazing. IKF India Krump Festival. I think it's the first or one of the first Krump events out there. It was their 10th anniversary by Hectic. He is now Junior Fade's fam of me and Rex.
Oh shoot.
Yeah. So he's been wanting to be in the fam for a minute. You know, and you know me, I make people wait for a long time. So he waited for like 5 years. And it just felt right because he really liked how Rex taught and just his personality and stuff. So I was like, yeah, I think it's better to be under the both of us because, yeah, why not? And yeah, it was amazing. I almost died the first day. Their AC was like, just wasn't good. And I had to teach 2 classes. And by my second class, I just like stopped and yeah, Hectic was like, let's take like a 2-minute break, and I almost passed out. I had like the biggest headache. I was drinking hella water, but I think what happens with me is my body overheats and I get like heat exhaustion a lot. So yeah, I think next time I'm just gonna like pour like a lot of cold water, just go in the sink and just go crazy. But yeah, it was amazing.
So who do you have on your Fade's name right now? You got like 4 people? I'm trying to be almighty Fades.
Oh,
Talk
shoot.
to Rex.
Yeah.
Rex put me on already, so sorry.
There's a Monster Fades. This is such a funny answer because I don't know.
He cares about you, yes.
Yeah.
He really does care about you. He just
not gonna lie, Rex is holding it down for the Fades fam. I even got a text from this girl that we were training at EBS. Her name is Strange. She's super dope. And then she texted me like, oh, so I'm Little Fades now? I was like, you are? So
I mean, that's tight.
Yeah, it's like a perfect description of just how like me and Rex's relationship is anyway. So whoever jumps in the fam, prepare for some curveballs, I guess.
Welcome to the fam.
Yeah,
welcome. But
I'm like, oh damn,
get ready.
Congrats with a question mark. But yeah, India. I mean, obviously Majin Buu. You know, he went to the finals, and he did this thing called 10 pounds of raw, which is like a 7 to smoke type of thing. But I think it's 10 people that pass. Majin Buu, he's like a god out there. He did amazing. He was in the finals. Bleed actually won, and Bleed won today as well in another Indian Krump event called Krump Pack. So Bleed is on one, and I think it's amazing because Krump shifts and Krump changes to where just his style is really speaking to what everyone is like gearing towards, if that makes sense. So he's like really heavy in the storytelling, a lot in like the patience and the pace, and it's clear, you know. So that's like a perfect balance to what people are used to with like Majin Buu is just an athletic, crazy, like super flexible. Like he stretches. You know how like you break your ankle where like your feet is facing each other, and then he bends down as if like you're trying to touch your toes, but he does that, and while like his forehead could touch like his thigh. So like he was stretching, and me and Rex, I was like, hey Rex, look. And I was like, that's how crazy he is. And he could like super be flexible and throw his body, and he does like amazing stuff. So I'm excited for him.
But is he buck?
Oh, he's buck.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
And so when he adapts to this shift, because everyone needs to adapt to the shift of Krump, no matter what, which is another topic. But yeah, I told him, I said, that's the beauty of this craft and of any craft, is you're gonna have to keep finding this rebirth. Like you find that top, and you go back to the bottom. So the girls was amazing. They took out all divisions besides the male one. So a girl won, the 10 pounds of raw, and she was like an OG that stopped Krump for 4 years and then came back. And and I was crying. I can't wait for the footage to come out, because we were eating KFC and judging. So that's already a crazy sight. So we was eating, and then I started to cry while eating my chicken and judging with the chicken leg. Like, she won. So and I looked at Hectic, and he had like goosebumps, and he was like crying too. And I was like, oh my God, like what's happening? So I can't wait for that footage to come out. I'm gonna just zoom in on, like, you can just see us munching. But yeah, so shout out to India. Real quick, there's a event, like the footages are coming out. It is called Melody Born Showcase. I think I said it right. Hopefully, that's from San Antonio. It's like the Velocity fam. I'm not pretty sure, but this is why I'm doing these podcasts, because I want to be more in tune with Krump my way, not like to be on the Krumpers page and talk shit, but just to like highlight y'all. So yeah, there was like a Velocity. I think it was like two females battling, and they like took over Instagram for like a day. That's the only thing people were sharing, and it was just crazy. Yeah, so I haven't watched the full footage, but I want to be on that. So for
you
y'all,
said it's from San Antonio?
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
so
yeah.
like
So
some
Rex
local,
was there,
like U.S. dancers.
So
That's
Rex was
amazing.
there showcasing, and he was like the first person I saw like share his footage, and then he was sharing that, and then it just blew up. Like everyone was sharing that footage, and it was just a piece. I was like, let me like really watch this, and there was so many like dope performances and whatnot. So
Do you have the link for it? Can you send it to me right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we should even just
Click.
watch it real quick.
It is Queen Velocity versus Jay Velocity. The Asian. Sheesh.
Is that dude under the DJ? Oh, that's not the DJ at all. That's just
a
just a pylon. Come on.
I think that's Jay.
Okay, camera angle switch.
Right.
Ooh, we were just going over about your holds and stuff. That was a good hold.
To start a round like that, is buck and risky.
Oh, come on.
Damn. It's just that space to like live in what you're doing. It's like the shit.
Come on.
With the bang.
She's really banging,
Yep.
bro. Like that quick bang that she did right before that one. I think that's one of the things that's being lost right now in Krump is the power of the bang.
Yeah. That was a statement round, like. Jeez. This track.
She's in her pocket, bro.
Yeah, like literally. Both hands. In the pocket. Posture. Sheesh.
Yo, the reality is
Yeah.
there, bro.
Footwork.
Come on.
Ooh. That's discipline. Yay!
Yo.
Dang.
Come on.
On
What?
time. On time. Yep. They're just living in the liveness in this battle. Like they're live. Like they're not going below liveness. They're
Yeah,
in
for real.
liveness.
Like they really sat in it. Like
Yeah.
they sat in
There's-
Krump and Buck for the
Right.
like intro, and then everything else is in live. Yee, hey, she is getting off,
Ooh, them guards. Do not sleep on the guards.
bro. Bro, you were guarding in the session earlier. Like you weren't even dancing. You were just guarding. I don't know who was going. I think it was Drowsy.
Like good exchanges. That's all you need. Low key, those rounds were enough. That's all you need. And then like if they just kept going back and forth for like these types of rounds, you don't need like those 3-minute rounds. Yeah.
Wow.
That looked fake. Jeez. That bang is crazy. Oh, the hand switch
switches.
behind the knee. Well, what part is that called behind the knee?
Holiness.
Let's go. We're still watching the footage though. It's just so stupid. Oh.
Oh, shoot.
Trust your
Yo.
body and trust the moment,
on.
yo.
This is when she needs to be really in her live,
Yeah.
though.
Yep. I think this is the snippet.
There it is.
This
there
is the
it
snippet that took over Instagram for her.
Yup. Come on.
Look at artists.
Rex is losing.
Artists.
Rex
And then
is
look.
losing him.
Yep. She jumps in. Yep. This is the
She
the
should
footage.
be live. She should be really utilizing the other girl's liveness. Come on.
There it is. Ah! Yo. Damn.
Yes.
Yeah. See, this is why this is a battle. This is why
Come on.
a battle this is.
Retired.
Nah, but this is a dope battle though.
And it's like an actual exchange. A lot of these battles these days are just like handing. Or they're just session rounds. But these are actual battle rounds.
Yeah. And that's just one battle. They have like showcases in this event. And obviously battles and stuff. But yeah, I was looking on Instagram. I was like, damn, this event was like a showcase with this and that, and the third, and the fourth, and the fifth. Yeah, to close out this section, coming up, there's Desert Storm 4 in Arizona. I go to Brazil with 1K. And outside of Krump, there's freestyle session. That's really huge. So that weekend is a lot of dancing going on.
A lot of good stuff for dance.
A lot. Next weekend, I mean, since he's here, shout out. Kyle is judging World of Dance.
The
Chicago.
atrocity. The atrocity. How did you get that gig right there?
My boy DeAndre.
Shout out DeAndre.
Shout out DeAndre, my boy. But yeah, he's like the head dude that runs the Chicago World of Dance like event for like the battles and stuff like that. So World of Dance put his name in that, you know.
Shout out to DeAndre. Come on, man. I know. I just put atrocity on the spot. Man. I literally told him earlier. I was like, "Yeah, we're not gonna give you a mic." Hands mic.
This week. But yeah, what I would like to talk about like what we took away from this week. On a dance tip, like what I took away is just kind of like what we trained today. And I said it in the class is no matter what the debate is, if like Krump stands for like kingdom radically uplifted mighty praise, no matter what, it's still mighty, you know. And for me doing it for this long, it's like what Outreach said, you could kind of go on autopilot with the training, and you know, you have a certain look, you have a certain way to get to liveness, to dope around, and yeah, you start to slack off on the really boring and the hard training of what Krump requires. And what Krump requires is like a lot of strength. So yeah, for me it's just really conditioning my body for that. Just like mad inspired by like, you know, events like India, the one that we just watched from San Antonio, and just the newcomers, especially if they're young, and like for me to keep up with their body, and my body is like deteriorating because I did not stretch or take care of my body. So I could feel that too. So finding ways to keep up with that. And shout out to Spartan's class. I mean, I'm still labbing them hoes since even before they came out, and trying to put my own twist to it and my own understanding. So if y'all didn't get that, you know, it's real gems. And I said this before, and this is why I want to do podcasts, so I could really speak. Because it's just interesting. From the website, you could tell the lineage of knowledge. You know, like, obviously it's Tadai's because I was under him. So it's a lot of Tadai's influence that came from me, from 1K, from Rex, from Bruiser, boom, boom, boom. But what separated, like, Spartan was that he was teaching a lot of stuff that was even countering what we're used to. When he said, don't slouch, and, like, call that posture, I was like, that's interesting. Because we would teach the dead zone, slouch, and now you're out of the dead zone. But for him, it's like, change your... Actually, buy the class.
Oh, shoot! Got him!
So, yeah, just stuff like that. You know, music, yeah, the way he interprets musicality, you know, because, yeah, I learned it from Tadai's, like, from, you know, musicality. You could be on beat, around the beat. You know what I mean? And even dance like away from the beat. That's another class that we could do as well. So yeah, that's why I just keep learning, and it's just dope to have like those different things in the toolbox, you know. And just, I wish he said it, but we filmed more classes, and I was just shocked of how he did it, to be honest. So on the car ride home, I was like, so you train like this? And he was like, yeah. And he's like, and he just told me, he was like, he used to train 9 hours a day. His brother would go to work, and he would come back, and Spartan would be in the same place. Dang. In his house. When he was younger, obviously.
Yeah.
But for me to, like, you know, kind of push my boundaries, like, can I do that? Like, of course, be smarter, like maybe 2 hours here, rest, do what I need to do, adult stuff, 2 hours here. Boom. Or maybe 2 hours of like house 2 hours of like some like paradox stuff that I'm learning, like and yeah, be smarter. And like what I said in class today, I agree to work smarter, but I also think work harder too. So don't just say work smarter, not harder. I think why not do both? So and we only have like one body, one life. Yeah. I just treat this as if like I'm a day one beginner. So
that's really good. I think for me, my biggest takeaway this week is, I mean, I haven't really been able to dance as much just because there's just been so much going on the studio side. So one, just having that session today after the class was freaking tight, and it was tight because like it was good because a lot of people don't see me session after a class, and they don't understand that like my mentality of filming a class is I'm still very active in the class mentally,
right.
And then so when the session comes around, I'm like doing everything that was, and so it was dope to have these non-camp people at our class, at your class just now, at your little workshop thing, because they're like, Rev, you weren't like freaking Kevin when he was dipping out. He was like, bro, it's so cool that you didn't even take the class. You weren't even present for it, bro. I was like, yep. I mean, I was there. I was in the same room, so obviously.
Don't sleep.
Yeah, come on.
That's
Dance is a mental game too.
Yeah.
Like I mean, obviously there's a physical element to it, but there's also just the artistic element to it. And so, and our creativity happens first in the mind, and then you're putting it into reality. Yeah. So if you're just sitting in a class and you're actually active in your mind, you can start creating and start being artistic in your mind.
Yeah.
So that's my thought.
Well, I could piggyback off of that. So again, I love doing these podcasts because I'll talk my shit, and I'll talk my shit for my friends. I think people don't understand like the different roles that we have to play, and we're still producing really quality work. You know what I'm saying? So I see it, and that's why I hype different, because I see just things different. So basically the point is like I told Rev, like he said, hey, before the class, he kind of injured his shoulder. And I said, that's kind of perfect because I want to like kind of vlog this. And I've been watching a lot of Stylebender, Stylebender YouTube channel. And that's genius on his part because, yeah, that's like crazy income for him. And it's just dope. So it inspired me like, dang, like that's a dope content to have too. So not just with the battles, whatnot. And it inspired me to train, and that's just MMA shit. So, I was like, let me pay it forward to like, and this was like, I'm jet lagged. So I woke up at 2 a.m. I just put one on, and I was like, damn, I have to lab, because it was just so tight of how hard they're pushing their body. And, so I replayed Spartan's, one of his classes to take it, and I just needed company. That's another way to lab. Sometimes you just need company. Like, you don't need like music like that. So I just needed to like hear like something about Krump. I needed to hear like a beat over it. So I wasn't taking this class. I just needed to feel like I was in like an environment. Anyways, so yeah, but yeah, Rev's rounds was dope. And it's dope to me that, yeah, you have to switch your roles from a person doing a vlog, and then he was doing photo shoots on the side. He was pulling people aside to do photo shoots, and then still retain the information. And if we're talking about the training sessions, he had like some of the best rounds in the goal of what the session was, which was apply what we did in the class. So, yeah, don't just watch footage, and don't just watch your peers on just such a surface level. Like, really look around. Like, when I look around, like, damn, like, like my friends came late and they want to keep up. That's dope. If I know like Jay Striker, he always has long days, so he comes through, and I know he needs like a mental shift from his all the shit that he's going through, and boom, so yeah, I just want to speak on that like, even for me, like with the Tuesdays, I have to run the door, I have to basically do everything. People have the dumbest questions. Where's the restroom? It says on the door, there's the restroom. How much is it? It's $5. My mom.
The restroom is $5.
Yes. Can you switch the track? Like, no. Like, yeah. So, and then to perform, to session, and then to battle. Like, I don't think people understand the mental shift. Like when me and Concrete battled Tyler and Keenan, I was praying. I said, God, I just don't want to be whacked. But mentally, I'm so exhausted from, what's this, and can we move here, and can we this, and and like, can this person pay, and is this person free? And I'm like, and then being DJ as well, so
yeah, like all the people that are in the YouTube, or I go live with my TikTok, and they're always like, when's Beast gonna go? I'm like, man, or
my
like,
spirit
where's
is
Beast?
there.
That's the question they always go, where's Beast? I'm like, he's right there, literally
looking for tracks. Like, I'm like,
that guy doing everything. If you don't see him, it's probably because he's over doing something else. And so it's crazy, because like, you can be really a part of a session and not even enter into the cipher. And it's definitely, like, when you're hosting, it's a different ballgame. It's crazy. But what I wanted to say with the for the people on the business side,
yes,
I'm excited, is know your mission, know what you're doing. So that's your first M. Know your membership. So who is your audience? Who are the people that you're trying to either have as clients, have as people you're serving? Who are your the people that you're serving? Know where your money's coming from. That's a big thing, especially like, I'm on the side of nonprofit, and everybody says like, oh, it's a nonprofit, so you don't make no profit, but it's a business still, and you have to make some sort of money so you can expand. So know where your money's coming from. Maintenance, what do you have to do to take care of your business? What bills do you have to pay? What things do you have to clean up? And then also morale. Who is on your team, and what are you doing to build that team up? Yeah, so like, when I got done with that class, because I'm doing this this five class, like it's like 2 hours
series
of class
nice.
Thing over at Faithful Central in Inglewood. And we just performed there this morning. It was tight. But anyways, I'm doing this class over there, and like, we went over that at the very end of the class, and I'm like, bro, I'm going straight to the studio. I'm erasing everything that's on my board, and I'm making sure I know everything. Morale, I don't have any coworkers. It's just me. So
besides Mac.
Yeah, I'll be like, Mac, how you feeling? Text my wife. I did put something up there that says, I owe Drowsy $6. I didn't know if that was membership or if that's membership, morale, or money.
I'm crying. Nah, but piggybacking off of that, I just love to talk about like just the growth in general, and I think it's super important to find people that does the initiative work for themselves, like I was in JROTC because of my big sister, and she was like the head, so I was put under a lot of pressure. But one thing that I learned from the Marines was the very first day was initiative. Don't wait to be asked to do something. Don't, like, that's just it. Like, do initiative. And since then, that was like the 9th grade, and my sister was on it. So, around the house, taking trash without needing to be asked and whatnot. And again, applying that to everything. No one's telling me or asking me to train this hard. No one is telling you to do this. No one's telling me to read books about stuff and whatnot. So speaking of books, one of the books that I'm reading that I want to slightly talk about, and we can end the episode, is it's called Doing Church as a Team. So it's really interesting, and the first point of it is just like is like, as humans we're just forgetful, and that's why like God always commanded in the Old Testament for his people to build altars. It wasn't like really to sacrifice, but it was really to remember, like, this is what you're doing this for. You're doing this for me. You're doing this with the blah 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 blah. And then the book asks, like, did your team forget, like, what the vision was? Did your team blah blah blah? And the other question that I'm still processing is people on your team like consumers, or are they contributors? So
Wow.
obviously I'm a mad scientist, where it's like I love to be the example, to where it's like I'm guilty first before I point fingers and say everyone's guilty. I'm like, damn, okay, let me contribute more than like try to consume blah 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 blah. So yeah, and it's just hard lessons, but it's a give or take. Everyone has their season to kind of sit back and like really take in the information, but the goal should always be like, I can't wait to come back. And that's what I had a talk with Jay Stryker. It was like, yo, I know you're taking your break, but look around, like, I will take this weight off of you and kind of show you, and like be like in arms with you to be like, to do your role and whatnot. So yeah. And obviously, I don't want to speak too much on the camp stuff because that's only for us. But yeah, to just keep believing in the camp, like believing in the people, and to just not forget like what our goal is. And yeah, I mean, I could share with y'all, I don't care. And it's so obvious. Our goal is just to be the best versions of ourselves, and then naturally that's how we are the best. So if everyone was just on that page, like trying to just better themselves, and then we meet up collectively, we save so much time of like, so where's this project? Where's the deadline? We're like low key, like, yeah, like I give myself deadlines to where, yeah, by this date, like even today I was like, called Rev. I said, hey, Sunday, you busy? I was like, you busy? Because I have some shit that I want to do. I want to teach. I want to do photo shoot. Or he did, but I was like, we could do that. And then I want to do podcasts, and we have to do that Sunday. No one told me, no one gave me, a deadline, but the accountability of like, of the team like matters, So, yeah, I am reading another book called Winning, but I don't want to talk about that right now.
We can talk about it next week.
Yeah, that's just more for me. So, yeah, we could close it out.
Well, I want to ask, what do you want to see out of this podcast, out of this season of the podcast?
I want like, obviously consistency has been like the word of the day, and like growth for us, and just in all levels, like I have so much to say, and I love to be petty, but I don't type. So I rather just say it with my words, and then if people got a problem, at least like they know like verbatim. It's like they didn't take it out of context because they read it in a certain way,
Mm-hmm.
It's not like I'm gonna say like some shit that's just gonna cause some drama. But if it comes to it, then it comes to it,
Yeah.
But I do want this to push me again. I'm a mad scientist. I want to better myself, and this just helps me like really be in tune with Krump, to where like next week is like, yo, like, so what happened with Krump locally, in the States or overseas,
Yeah.
And it could just be one event, two event, even our session was lit, boom boom. And then if and then now I could look on the Krumpers page, and fuck it, I could even talk about drama that be going on. So I don't mind, like, oh yeah, this week they which I can like talk about very briefly. Which I think Pixie asked, who's the worst dressed Krumper? It was like 100+ comments, and everyone just got butthurt. So it's
So
like,
who was it?
I don't know. For me, for my mental health, because maybe I was like, maybe it's me with my freaking striped pants and shit, with my
don't
fucking
like this
polo
man.
shirt. And shit. I don't give a fuck. So but yeah, just to contribute and not be scared of like using my voice for even that, for like politics. Like I could say I'm an open book to whatever. So yeah.
One thing I think would be fun is, and this could go horribly good or horribly bad, is like if we had like what's the word? I had a good name for it, but like Fan Fridays type thing where we watch other people's footage and kind of rate them or talk about them and be like, oh, you did this good. But one that I thought would be funny is like if we had like on our forum on the website, if we started a forum that was said roast my round and people posted their rounds specifically for people to roast them and we just read our favorite ones.
It's like the reading like the
bad tweet.
hateful comments.
So
Yeah.
I want to do that. I'm going to take administrative liberties and start a forum.
Yeah, I don't care. As long as it's my voice, I will talk about whatever. I don't give a fuck. So politics, whatever, like, and I think it's just been boiling like up to where I have so much like shit to say. And again, it's not all bad, but yeah, and hella people are like, yo, like your voice matters and stuff. And I was like, but I just don't want to type it and then have people's opinions because of their lack of comprehension or their lack of reading skills too. So I'm just saying. So this is easier for y'all to understand. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm dyslexic, so I got off Facebook a long time ago.
We're bringing back the Tuesday, or not bringing back. I don't know if it was a break. Yeah, Tuesday we're having our session again. For me, just train for Brazil, and then Cypher Spot, they have an event Thursday. Rock on.
Yo, yeah, it's like the first session. First event
Whoop, whoop.
that we're having here. Obviously, it's not our event. Somebody's just renting.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be dope to have just the all styles community in here. It's all rock music. Apparently, they're having emo, screamo, rock, metal. If they don't have metal, I'm pissed. I'm gonna pull the plug. Turn off the whole event. Take your money back.
Rev's the rock police.
I need metal in my life. Yeah. Anyways, yeah. So that's gonna be a really cool thing. So my goal is to just be a good host.
And next week, is it next week? Freaking Black Panther comes out. Yo, Black Panther comes out. Now it's an ASMR. ASMR. Black Panther. Chomp.
Anyways, but yeah, goals for me is to get more rentals. So we have 2 rentals this month, but the goal is to have 4 rentals each month.
Nice.
So this will be our second rental, but it'll be our first event rental. And then just want to be able to be a good host for it, and so that other people will book with us. And then I got a few grants I need to be writing because I found the power of the grant. Can't announce it yet, but there's power in writing grants and succeeding in it.
Power.
That's the power I need.
Power.
That's my goals.
Good. Goals is good to have. Comment if you're watching on YouTube or inbox us what your goals are. See you next time.